Chef Paws had seen many strange mornings in his life, but this one was different. The entire town of Whiskerton was silent. Not just quiet, silent. No footsteps, no chatter, no birdsong. Only the steady tick, tick, tick of the massive clock tower that stood in the center of the square. Except, when Chef Paws glanced up, the hands of the clock were frozen at midnight. He tightened the knot of his red scarf and adjusted his chef's hat. Something was wrong, deeply wrong. The market stalls stood empty, the bakery ovens cold. The air heavy like time itself had stopped moving. Then, he noticed something glimmering at the base of the tower. A golden spoon, shining unnaturally bright, half buried in cobblestones. Paws picked it up carefully. The moment his paw touched the handle, he heard whispers, recipes spoken in a language older than any cookbook. The spoon vibrated in his grip, pointing upward toward the clock tower like a compass. Inside the tower, shadows shifted. Wooden gears groaned, and a staircase spiraled into darkness. Against his better judgment, Paws stepped in. The deeper he went, the more the world outside seemed to vanish. The walls pulsed faintly with orange light, as though the tower itself was alive. Then, he entered a grand chamber filled with enormous tables. Silver trays were piled high with dishes he had never seen before, golden soufflés that floated, soups glowing with starlight, cakes that seemed to hum with power. At the center sat a figure. Not human, not animal, but a mechanical chef made of bronze and gears. With glowing emerald eyes, it raised a ladle in greeting. "Welcome, Chef Paws," it said in a deep, echoing voice. "You've found the Clockwork Feast." The mechanical chef introduced itself as Maître Tarque, guardian of recipes that controlled time itself. Each dish on the table could bend reality. One slowed everything around it. Another could rewind memories. A third could push time forward in a heartbeat. But there was a catch. These recipes, Maître Tarque rumbled, demand balance. To gain one, you must sacrifice something of your own. Chef Paws' fur bristled. He had always cooked to bring joy, never for power. But something deep inside whispered, if time has stopped, then maybe only these recipes can restart it. Paws stepped closer. His whiskers twitched at the aroma of a glowing stew labeled chrono chowder. Steam rose in curling spirals, each forming images of moments long past, kittens playing, families dining, laughter around fireplaces. The dish smelled like nostalgia itself. He dipped the golden spoon in and tasted just a drop. Instantly, memories flooded back. His very first dish as a young apprentice. The pride in his teacher's eyes, the warmth of home. But along with the memories came a heavy weight. The realization that every taste consumed a piece of his own past. "Choose wisely," Maître Tarque warned, slamming down its ladle with a metallic clang. "Every recipe feeds on what you hold most dear." Chef Paws pulled back. He wasn't ready to trade away his heart. Instead, he asked a question. "If I don't choose, what happens to Whiskerton?" The clockwork chef's gears groaned as it turned its head. Time will remain frozen. The world will wither into stillness. Without sacrifice, there is no feast. Without the feast, there is no time. Chef Paws' claws tightened around the golden spoon. For the first time, he wasn't sure if cooking could save him, or if it would doom everything he loved. And then, from the shadows of the chamber, a second voice whispered, "You don't need to sacrifice anything. Let me show you another way." A sleek, silver-furred cat with piercing blue eyes stepped forward. Unlike Paws, she wore no chef's hat, only a sly grin. "Name's Naira. I've been here longer than you, and I know how to beat the feast without losing yourself." Naira explained her plan. The Clockwork Feast thrived on fear and hesitation. Every chef who entered was so consumed by their hunger for time that they willingly gave up their memories, their joy, their very souls. But what if someone cooked their own recipe, one born not of greed but of heart? Chef Paws' ears perked. Could it work? With trembling paws, he set down the golden spoon and reached into his own satchel. He carried nothing fancy, only the simple ingredients he always trusted: flour, butter, cream, a pinch of cinnamon. From them, he began to cook. The tower trembled. Gears screeched. Maître Tarque's emerald eyes glowed brighter. "What are you doing?" The mechanical chef roared. But Paws didn't answer. He whisked, kneaded, stirred. The smell of cinnamon rolls filled the chamber, warm and comforting, cutting through the metallic tang of time magic. Finally, he placed the dish on the table. The hearth roll. Simple, humble, made, not with power, but with love. The feast grew silent. The glowing soups dimmed, the humming cake stilled. Even Maître Tark hesitated. Slowly, the Clockwork Chef reached for the roll and took a bite. Its gears ground, its eyes flickered, and then, for the first time, it smiled. "Heart, over time," Maître Tark whispered, voice breaking. "You win." The chamber dissolved into golden light. The feast vanished. The tower's frozen hands ticked forward. Outside, Whiskerton burst back to life. Bells rang, people laughed, ovens warmed. Chef Paws stood at the base of the tower, the golden spoon now dull in his paw. Naira leaned beside him, smirking. "Not bad, furball. Maybe you're not just a chef. Maybe you're a legend." Paws chuckled, adjusting his hat. "No, just a cook who believes in flavor over fear." And as the town cheered around him, he walked back to his kitchen, the smell of cinnamon rolls guiding him home.